Hello everyone, you really liked the Binding Blade tier list a whole awful lot, so here I am, back again with another one, this time Conquest, and oh boy, Conquest. It has some maps, alright. Again, like, comment, subscribe, blah 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 blah, if you like what you see, YouTube crap. But with all that being said, let's get into it. So first, parry tier, excellent, unmatched, same as my Binding Blade tier. These are maps that are very good, have like multiple ways to clear them, are very fun to engage with, lots of fun, I like them a lot. It's good. Maps that are good, I have fun playing them, they're not as good as, parry tier. But, they're fun, they're good maps, they're well designed, it's just that they aren't, very thought-provoking. Meh, it's maps that don't impede my fun of the game, they're just kind of there. This map doesn't impede my enjoyment of, getting EXP, leveling up my units, building class sets. They're just maps that exist to facilitate the other gameplay that aren't too interesting on their own, and of course, Betrayal tier. Yup, they're maps in the game that make me unhappy. So first, I'm gonna put the first map in. It's good, this is the swamp map with all the faceless, and I think it's a very good introduction to what Conquest is in, because, this is the first real map of Conquest, and what do you have? You have very powerful enemies, like, you're not one-rounding these guys. Like, I one-rounded them when I had, like, a Corin paired up with a Jacob on Lunatic, but I think my Corin was kind of strength and speed blast, right? But, with Ceus, Arthur, Effie, Jacob, you're not getting much done on that front. And what else do they have? They have skills like Savage Blow, and the other one that's not Savage Blow, Fang Strike or something. Rend Flesh, I don't know. And there are multiple ways to do it, like, the boss is down here. I usually choke a point in the lower hallway, but you could go aggressive. There's multiple ways to do it, but at the end of the day, it's just, a square. So it's not too good, but it is a very good introduction to what Conquest is all about. Tough enemies, skills, limited options. Parry tier. I'm actually going to put this next map in parry tier because it's very good. There are multiple routes you can take. The difficulty is good because you're incentivized to stop the guards before they reach through villages, which is pretty hard to do if you want to be aggressive, because your units aren't that powerful yet. You can make good use of Elise's free staff on this map. You can go up, down, go to the top left. You don't have to rout the enemy, you just have to kill the boss. So even if some enemies are spawned, you don't have to pay attention to them. You can also note on this map, and Niles lets you one-round the mages, which is good. And it's just a very high-pressure map. There's a lot you can do in it. With it, you can use the Dragon Veins to temporarily stop guys. Flora is kind of a tough mini-boss that you kind of want to take care of quickly, because she has the free staff and she'll stop your momentum real quickly. My only real problem with this map is that you get Niles, right? And Niles perfectly one-rounds all of the mages. But here's the thing, bows have weapon triangle against magic, so he's only going to get like 70 or like 80 hit on them, and that just makes the map inconsistent, because you're trying to use Niles as your mage killer, since he one-rounds them, but then he just misses one shot, and it just throws your whole plan into disarray, and that's just kind of annoying. You get better mage killers later, but I wish, the weapon triangle could be inverted or something, because it would just make Niles' job a bit easier, since killing mages is pretty important on that map. This tier, this is a map. It's alright, you just kind of go in, you lure out the guys, Conquest maps have a lot going on. This map has a lot going on. I need to get this crap emoji out of frame. Alright. This one has a lot going on. This one has a bit going on. This one you just kind of move to the right. It's like a normal Fire Emblem map, but it's in Conquest. There is the Acid Rain stuff, but you can capture Haitaka. You get Azura in this map, but her escape isn't too complicated. You just kind of move twice until you get the Brass Naginata. It's just, there. Let's see, this map, Chapter 10, no surprise to anyone here, it's definitely considered one of the best maps in all of Fire Emblem by many people. There are many points to choke. Maybe you've reclassed a couple of units by this time, maybe you've reclassed Corin, maybe you've reclassed Jacob, maybe you've reclassed Elise. So this is where the game really starts to open up. There are a lot of side objectives to get. You want to get the gold, you want to get the Master Seal, you very much want to get the Dual Club, you want to get the Draco Shield. There's so much to do, so much to see, with incredibly aggressive enemies to boot, and it's a defense map, and they respawn all the time, so it puts stress on you. It has a good mid-map twist when the water lowers, and you have to shake up your whole strategy to keep defending. You get Camilla, which lightens the load a bit, but doesn't make it too easy, because Camilla can only be in one place at once, so it's not like she can just go trivialize the entire map like she can on other occasions. Yeah, it's just a really, really good map. You know, a lot of people don't like defense maps, like, I don't like the one where you defend Niles in Fire Emblem 7, that one can get kind of annoying on Hector Hard Mode. I like the ones in Thracia mostly though, but this is definitely how you do it right. And the first map to go up Betrayal tier is the stair one. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, this one just kind of blows. It incentivizes you to go both sides, but why on God's green earth would you ever do that? Like, that would just be annoying. Sure, you could get more EXP, but I don't know, at this point in the game, I'm not really pining that much for EXP. And, it's just, you know, it's just boring, because you go in, you clear a room, okay, then you gotta get all prepared to go into the next one. Cool, like, what I do is I just reclass Camilla to Sorcerer, slap Nosferatu, and just make her go in all the rooms and kill all the guys, because it just gets it out of the way a lot sooner than it otherwise would, because otherwise it's just not very engaging. Alright. Parry tier. Alright, I like the pop map. You get parry in this map. There are multiple routes to go. You can go left, you can go right. There are staff, you have to escape in under like 16 turns, but there are staff users, like, I don't know if there's a Hexing Rod guy. I don't think there's a Hexing Rod guy. But there's Silence, there's Entrap, there's Physic, and you can actually use that to your advantage. Like, say, you purposefully get a unit entrapped into the top right corner, now they're closer to the treasure, so you're actually using your own enemy staff against them, but it can't be a weak unit, because then they're just going to get killed by the paired up samurai. And, like, you can use the Dragon Vein, you can not use the Dragon Vein, because some of your guys might get poisoned if you use the Dragon Vein. The ninjas are hard to deal with, but you can ignore them. The reinforcements come at just the right time to pressure you, but they're not cancerous. You can really go out of your way and get Ryoma and get a really good item. I think it's the Arms Scroll, if you really want it. No, it might just be a secret book. It might just be a secret book. I think it is a secret book. But either way, it's a stat booster in Conquest, so you always want those. Yeah, it's just really fun. Lots to do, lots of choices to consider. It's a very dynamic map. It's good! This one's alright. You get Charlotte and Benny, which are, of course, my favorite Conquest units. But, actually, I'd say this one's pretty good. Like, I don't know. It's a rob the enemy map, right, compared to the typical kill the boss. So I'm gonna put it at the top of its good, because by the time you deal with Scarlet, I mean, by the time you deal with, you probably deal with Scarlet last, but what's-her-face, Renea, I think her name's Renea, and Takumi, like, when you attract Scarlet, some reinforcements show up and you're just doing cleanup. There is a Thief, but he only has 3 movements, so you don't gotta go in that much of a hurry. It's not that hard of a map, honestly. That Thief does make you hurry a little bit, but it kinda just slows down a bit near the end compared to these maps where you're always rushing at least a little bit. And it's alright. Like, the Knights paired up with the Wyverns is a cool gimmick because it, like, teleports guys with 1,000,000 defense directly to your face, which is pretty unique. But it just doesn't really compare to these maps for me. And then there's this one, which is, you get Leo in this map, but it's like, you know, it's a bit stally, right? I was complimenting this map for its staff usage like Entrap, because it forces you to engage with the stats, because, oh god, I only have 16 turns, I have to walk into danger here if I'm ever actually going to get anything accomplished. With this map, it's like, oh, they have Silence, they have Freeze, but, like, they don't intersect with enemy range at their outmost range, so what you do is you just send a unit into Freeze or Silence range, and then you mash end of turn, or Enfeeble, and then you mash end of turn for 5 turns, and that is just kind of it. And then, like, what? It's some archers. The archers in this map don't have counter like they usually do. The Oni Savages are, like, pretty damn weak. You can capture the boss if you want to. He's a pretty good capturable boss, but there's not really just too much really going on in this map, honestly, right? There's no thief, so you can just kind of get the treasure, like, get the 10,000 gold, get the other treasure. I forgot what it is. You know, it's just there, right? Usually, since this map is so piss easy, this is around the time. Like, with that Soul Charlotte thing, this is around the time I got her up to level 15 before I promoted her, because, you know, I just could, because it's a map. This tier is, I mean, what really is there to say about this map? You go, you pair up Corrin with Gunter, you get the Speedwing, and then that's it, right? Like, if you've trained Corrin up to this point, this is just a map that exists. There's really not too much to think about. You move Corrin forward, you get the Speedwing, and everyone lived happily ever after. This one's really good. I like this one a lot. You see, this one is another one where you're forced to engage with the staves, like on the pop map, because, well, you're not forced to. It's actually a choice. Every turn you lose 300 gold, I think it is, and you start out with 10,000 gold. And considering this is Conquest, where you can't grind for money and your money supply is a bit limited, you know, if you want to be making good forges and you want to be making the most use out of the heart seals, because heart seals are like 2,000 a pop, or like marriage seals, or like partner seals, or friendship seals, you're gonna want money if you're really thinking about decking out your guys in Conquest. So this forces you to rush in, and the thing is, unlike the pot map where, like, besides the ninjas, the enemies were just kind of okay, just go kill them. There are berserkers on this map, there are promoted, like, sorcerers on this map with good skills, and the berserkers have certain blow, so you want to take them out, like, on player phase before they just, like, accuracy crit you. But, you know, it's like, you want to be careful because the enemies are really powerful, but you don't want to be careful because you want to lose the money. So that forces you to play really dynamically. This map doesn't even have reinforcements at all, it just kind of, you just gotta go do it, you know? And I actually think it's above... I don't know if it's as good as I don't know. I think it's a really... I'll put it at second for now because Chapter 10 is just so dang good. But this is a really dang good map. You get Shura after it too. And it's just really dynamic. Forces you to play super dynamically if you want to get the most use out of your money. And you have to deal with the freeze stave, so you have to plan around that. I think there's some enfeeble guys. So you really have to think about where you want to allocate your units if you want to get all the money. And then we have the ninja map. The ninja map, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god. My main problem with this map, the main people are like, oh, it's so hard. I don't think it's hard. You know why? Because some people think it's hard because they choose one movement on one of their units over a pre-promote with excellent bases, excellent weapon ranks, with, like, I think he has C-bows right off the bat, so you already got the killer bow, with, like, a good skill in Highwayman. So it's like, if you think this map is hard, that's your own damn fault, honestly, Shura gang. Like, okay. If you choose the boots over Shura, you're bad at Fire Emblem, because Shura literally gives a 1+ move on pair up. So if you really need one move that badly, just literally fucking pair someone up with Shura. And he has good, whatever. This is not turning into a Shura rank, this is a map ranking. But, pretty much, what you want to do is you want to have Shura and Niles kill the ninjas. But the thing is, once you do that, there's not much more to it. It's just really boring. Because you go to the top map to get that treasure, oh, the reinforcements spawned. You go to the bottom half of the map to get that treasure, oh, the reinforcements spawned. And it's just such a really big map, so, like, if the final guy, I think the final guy's a Flame Shuriken, and his accuracy, well, your accuracy on him is very shaky because he's on a throne and he's also a Master Ninja, right? So there's definitely some, challenge to be had there with him. And, like, if you get unlucky, you have to reset the whole damn map. You could be doing an Iron Man where you don't reset, but typically Conquest is not played in an Iron Man fashion because so much of the game just revolves around building your units and their skill sets. So losing a unit in Conquest is just not the preferred option for some people, right? Compared to my Binding Blade map where, oh no, Trek died, whatever, keep going forward. Because that's just different game design entirely, you know, because, like, you don't need, you know, you don't invest your life into building Trek, but if a unit dies, like, okay, so here's what I mean. Like, if a unit dies on the ice map, right? Like, say Niles, I don't know, gets incredibly unlucky, boom, okay. It takes you, like, 5 minutes maximum to, like, get back to where you were. Say he died when you were trying to get this house, you know, you just skip phase, you already have your plan figured out, you just get back to there again. You create a bit of a better strategy. With this, if, like, you're on turn, like, 50, and a swords guy gets a crit with his wash-ta-ta-da-da-da, and he lunges you, and it's like, oh my god, I really have to fucking replay Ninja Hell. It's just not very fun to replay. And you're like, oh, you didn't criticize Binding Blade maps for the same thing, like, fucking Sophia map, you hit both of the switches, right? It's like, you know, in Binding Blade just, like, you got Yoder, like, 2 maps ago, you're gonna get Carol the next map, you know, the game constantly tosses good units at you, so, like, even if a unit dies in a long map, you know, it's not the end of the world, but if your unit that you put, like, 2 skills on and you invested, like, 6,000 in Heart Seals dies, you're resetting. So I think my criticism of incredibly long, tedious maps comes from just a game design standpoint, from a difference in which how units are handled. And with how units are handled in this game, and a bit of the RNG involved in it sometimes, and just the annoying spike gimmick and keeping Sizo alive, it's just not very good. This is definitely a Betrayal map. It's just not fun at all. Alright. This map, I think it's very good. Again, it's another map you have a time limit on. I think it's either 20 or 25 turns, and that really forces you to get the most bang for your buck. Very powerful enemies with, like, promoted Cavaliers and Horsemen, and the Maids with the Enfeebler are always a problem. I'd say the reinforcements are well handled, as well as a hard boss, and there are 2 treasure chests on the top left and top right, so if you kill the generals on the bottom first, then you really have to rush to get the treasure. It's just an overall good time. Multiple ways to do it. You could pair up all of your units to one side, you could have them split off, which is what I did in my latest run, to cover multiple objectives, but then your main army's weaker. This is a pretty good map. I would put it, like, above the pot map, honestly. I like playing the Zola map. Oh my god. The Fox map. Okay, so this map is just the worst. All of the foxes are super evasive because there are forests everywhere, so you always have, like, 50 damn hit on them, which is just super annoying. Like, if you're just playing standardly, right, with your full army deployed, it's really damn annoying. You can't attack them on player phase, but they can attack you if their leaves are made. They have pass, so you can't even make a choke point on the bridge or anything. Like, this is just designed to be the most annoying map possible, so what a lot of people do, me included, is just that they prepare one super unit for this map and just have that unit kill the map. Because it's like, you could have Wary Fighter, Beast Slayer Benny, and he's pretty much never gonna die. You can have a Soul Ninja or Soul Maid, like I did with Charlotte, and they're never gonna die. So it's like, either this map is excruciatingly painful, and it's not fun, or you just have one unit clear it, and it's not fun, because it's not a challenge. Like, there's no in-between with this map. It's just, on the one hand, in one half it's cancer, and on the other half it's boring. But it's, like, less boring than Ninja Hell, so... Now this, is a map that's very hard to rank, I feel, because it's like, it's fun if you fully know how to exploit the mechanics of Fire Emblem Conquest, the video game, but on the other hand, if you're just playing the game for the first time, you just got done with the Fox map, oh boy, I'm gonna play the next map in the game, yee, I'm little Timmy, and then you get to Fuga's Wild Ride, where your units are getting shuffled around. So, like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at a point in my life where I load up this map, and because of my childhood trauma where I played this game, I know what the winds do, I know what order they spawn in, I know what the treasure is, I know what I need to do and what I don't need to do, I know I can ignore Hayato, I know I can just wind myself up with some flying units to Fuga and kill him on, like, turn 4, right? That's not the issue here. And that is fun. I will say, when you know how to do the map, and you have a plan, and you have your flyers ready, and you exploit the wind, it's a very fun map. But, on the other hand, if you're just a dude playing the game, this is probably one of your least favorite maps in the whole game, right? Like, this is a few times I'll bring it up in this video. Like, this is the first time I'm bringing it up. This is like a metagame check, right? This is pretty much, okay, do you have skills that are good? Have you played Conquest before? Do you know how to fully utilize all your units? And my answer to that is yes, I do know how to do that. So I'd say it's a good map. You know, you can kill Fuga on turn 4, you can do that, and it's fun to execute and get everything right and deal with all the Kinshi Knights and just pull everything off and get the rescue staff. There's also a bit of an interesting drawback to that, because if you do kill Fuga on turn 4, it's very unlikely that you got the 10,000 gold in the upper left chest, because that can take a bit of doing to actually get to that chest, because there are so many enemies in the way, like Kinshi Knights and stuff. And like, if you split your army in 2, it's likely you might not have enough firepower to kill Fuga on turn 4, So it is a very interesting dynamic, and to get the absolute most out of this map, you really have to think. You're really pressured for time because of annoying reinforcements and how the winds might displace your units. Like, you probably want to beat the map before you get a shitty wind pattern. But on the other hand, so I know all these things, so every time I play this game, I specifically prepare like a bunch of captured flyers for this map so I can taxi my actually good units around and get some work done, right? So I'd say, based on my experience, right, it'd be maybe like above this. It's not excellent because, right, it's not that much fun, but, you know, I'd say it's the top of it's good. But, like, I remember in freshman year of high school where I got stuck on this map for like 2 weeks when I was just playing on like normal mode, and like when I played it on hard mode like the year later, because I wasn't a lunatic gamer yet, it was just, oh my fucking god, right? It's like, it's a good map if you're a Conquest expert. I don't know. I'm not even a fucking expert at Conquest. Maybe I'm not, because in my video about discount soulmates, Zoran had to correct me that Felicia could also do that. It wasn't just Charlotte and Laszlo. But, like, I feel like even if you don't build a specific team of a bunch of flyers and shit, you're, like, always gonna have fun with a map like the Zola map, because it's not just, you know, you don't really need a specific team to, like, not want to kill yourself while playing this map. You can just kind of do it with whatever team you have, but with this it's like, have some flyers or get the fuck out and have this take a super long time. So it's like, I'd say it's at least more interesting than this map. I just don't think it's always, consistently, okay, so that's the word I'll use, consistently good. It's not consistently good. Sometimes it's good if you go into it prepared, but if you're just playing the game for the first time and you walk into this map, you're gonna have a fucking hell of a time, right? So it's not consistently a good map, so I'll put it at the top of meh. This map is a very good map. It's like probably the most pressurized map in the game. It puts the most pressure on you because, like, there are faceless constantly attacking you and chasing you, but you have dragon veins, right? So you have dragon veins that you can use to stop them for one turn, and that's very interesting. That is very interesting, because, like, you can get to one on turn one, like, you just spawn right next to one, but then, like, the rest of them are, like, a peek apart, and, like, the final one is in the top left, so you're gonna need some flyers for that. Or maybe you don't need the flyers, maybe you fight your way to it. Like, there are a lot of ways to approach this. Definitely. Like, and you can escape, or you can risk it and fight the boss to get the combat manual, because by the time you get to the boss, right, you're definitely out of dragon veins unless you've been saving one to fight the boss. And, like, next to the boss is, like, the spawn point of the faceless, so it's like, oh my god, do I waste time fighting this guy, or do I actually, escape with my life? I do have one complaint with the boss, though. It's like, he has Aegis, so, like, I had a flying Wyvern Lord Ophella that would have killed him, so I would have gotten the combat manual, which would have saved me a lot of money in endgame. But, he procced Aegis, so then I didn't kill him, so that was just very annoying, right? I feel like, you know, it's like that Fire Emblem 4 Great Shield thing, where it's like, oh, I would have killed you, but I guess I didn't, ha ha ha, that's so fun. But of course, it is worth bringing up that there is the cheese, where you just rescue your way to victory and just sacrifice Felicia or Flora or something. Or Jacob if you got Jacob too, but usually I go with Felicia too. But I'd say it's very good. And then of course, right, oh, it's like faceless, but like a lot of them have breaker skills, like bow breaker, lance breaker. I'm pretty sure there's a breaker for every weapon type. So you're really incentivized to use all your units. Even though the faceless are tanky, there are tools to deal with them. They have shitty resistance, right? And you can buy the blessed lance and the blessed bow at the store at this point. You can one-round the Stoneborn a lot of the times with lightning, even though they have a bold fight or wary fighter. So you definitely have the tools to deal with it. It's a very high-pressure map. Not too cancerous, because you have the dragon veins to help you. But I don't like how the boss can kind of cheat you out of it. And it can be a bit frustrating to reset if you get all the way to the end, and like, the Stoneborn really do make this map a bit of a fucking hassle at times, I won't lie. Like, sometimes you just have to pray that you won't get hit with the 47% Big Rock, and that can be a bit cancerous. but you can also deal with them, but it's like, oh my god, it can be so annoying sometimes. So it's got really good elements. You know, it's not like the Winds of Change map where you need to metagame it super hard. Like, you can metagame it with the rescue staff, but you don't really need to, compared to another map, which I will talk about later. But it's like, I'd say it's at least more interesting and fun most of the time than this map. The Stoneborn can be a bit frustrating, but you know, the It's Good maps aren't supposed to be perfect. Like, these maps aren't even perfect. I'm allowing, like, one flaw for, like, each of these maps. Like, no, this one doesn't have too interesting of a layout, even though you can use the houses in the forest to hide from the guys. But this one has, like, the Aegis boss, right? That can make it in the combat manual. A bit, inconsistent sometimes, which is just annoying. The Faceless have a skill that prevents you from getting EXP, so you're not really rewarded at all for fighting them. The Stoneborn with their massive rocks are just really annoying. I'm gonna drink some water real quick. It's just, it's good. But it could be a bit better. And then there's Sakura. This map has, again, multiple ways to tackle it, which I think is very good. You can pair up all your units on one side. So that's good. Or you could separate them again. You'll have a weaker main force, like you won't be able to completely sweep aside, but you'll actually be able to use the map's gimmick. And that is lowering walls. And I actually got very surprised when I replayed this game recently for my last playthrough. I did not know up until that Sakura could use the Dragon Vein, so I was just ready to go kill everyone, and then she used it, and then the reinforcements on, and I got fucked. So that was a bit of a jump scare, but what that incentivizes you to do is to proc 2 Dragon Veins in one turn, or 3 maybe. I forgot if Sakura has her own one, or if that also lowers the wall with the Mechanist turret, but and then you have to go in and kill Sakura. And you also have to kill the enemies that are in the turrets and, like, guarding the Dragon Veins, and you have to do that all in one turn, and that is so much fun to plan out. So, like, this is a map with multiple ways to tackle it. It can be a bit frustrating with the staff spam, again, you have to wait it out, and the turret spam. But, like I said, these maps are allowed to have, like, one flaw. I wouldn't put it above the Pomp map, but planning the final sequence where you finally take out Sakura is very satisfying. Or you could just not even fight her and just go for the main guy. So, very dynamic map overall. Alright, this one fucking sucks. I'll put it above the forest. Okay. So it has the turret spam. And, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never beaten Hinata's guys. Because it's like you have to kill them on player phase, right? You have to kill them on player phase, because when you enter their range and start attacking them, they'll start attacking you. But they're all rallied up all the time. You have to fucking kill them all in one turn. Hinata's super powerful. He has Takumi's turrets supporting him. It's just really annoying. So, like, you want to skip Hinata, right? Luckily for you, there's a canyon that allows you to do that. Pretty much. But, like, if you don't have a lot of flyers, you have to fucking fly them over one at a time. And then the wall part is annoying. You're not pressured to go fast. There's no thief or anything. So, like, what you end up doing is you just... Well, what I do personally is I just go up and down the stairs, slowly picking off units, and then kill Obro. And then after, like, an hour doing that, or, like, 45 minutes, Takumi can just proc Rend Heaven. So what I like doing now is at least having a Bowbreaker Sorcerer Camilla by this point and just lightninging him to death, because that's just the easiest way to do it. If you don't have a Tomebreaker guy, you face death via Rend Heaven crit, which is just incredibly annoying after such a long map. You do capture Rally Map on this map, though, which is kind of fun. But yeah, this map is just not good. This map, again, like the Sands of Change, is very metagamey. On Lunatic difficulty, it pretty much says, have a whole team of flyers, or get the fuck out. Because Hinoka can just, you know, use her Dragon Vein to make it so all your guys have 4 move, but all the flyers have 12 move. So you end up wanting to have a bunch of flyers, and that kind of restricts you a bit, because you can either A, capture a bunch of flyers, and then you're not deploying your main units, or B, like, reclass at least half of your units to flyers so they can carry the other half of your units, and that's not very fun, because what I like about Conquest is its class diversity, right? Like, in those 3 videos I did 3 weeks ago, I had, like, Blacksmith Corin, you know, base class Perry, and, like, Maid Charlotte, so that was a very diverse run, I think, but this map does the opposite of incentivize that. This map really does not represent the spirit of Conquest, or what I like about it. It's pretty much, like, you could abuse the Dragon Veins, or, like, not abuse, just use them, but, to get, to, you know, I lost my words here for a second, to, like, restrict the flyers, but then you have to deal with Izama's Hexing Rod. Like, if you don't beat the map quickly, you have to deal with that stupid fucking annoying Hexing Rod, and you can't even, like, entrap him because he's stationary, I think. So you just have to deal with the Hexing Rod while you're trying to lure out Sestuna and stuff, and it's just not fun. And there are, like, so many annoying reinforcements, like the Kinshi Knights pop up, and then boom, she just fucking immediately gives them 12 movement. So, like, you're metagaming this map and beating it in 4 turns, which isn't very interesting, because there's not, like, treasure or anything on the Winds of Change map, so, like, you're not really going for anything besides Hinoka. And, like, if you're not metagaming it, it just fucking sucks to play. Like, having 4 movements, having, like, 4 move on all your non-flying units is just not a very fun map mechanic, compared to Sakura's walls, which you can control, she can raise them if you get too close, there's just a lot going on there. Like, this is, like, the only good example of an enemy using a Dragon Vein, in my opinion, because it, like, manipulates the map in ways that can be beneficial or harmful to you, depending on your instance, but this is just, oh, you have 4 movement, fuck you. It's just, I'm putting it below Ninja Hell, fuck Hinoka. And by the time you do get to Hinoka, it can even be a bit RNG, because she has that annoying flyer skill that gives her thrown bonuses, and she's super fast, and she has high speed, so, like, by the time you do get to Hinoka, it can just turn into a total RNG fest. Like, getting a Heartseeker unit to her is super critical, I'd say. Like, in one of my runs, I had a Heartseeker Wyvern Lord Valora, because I had Sorka Camilla pass on Heartseeker, but because she was Camilla's daughter, she was a Wyvern Lord. So that was a pretty good way of dealing with it. But overall, like, it's just too, like, if you're a new player and you play this map, you're gonna fucking hate it. And if you're an old player that plays this map, you're being restricted by, like, reclassing all your units to flyers or using a bunch of captured flying units, and that's not fun either. This map fucking sucks. Alright. Alright, I had to drink some water there. Alright, this map. It's just, you like Inevitable End, you like Lunge, you like fucking the worst thing ever. What this map should have done is it should have made it so you had to kill Saizo or, what's the other one? The brown-haired one with the boobs? I forgot. Whatever. It should have made it so you only had to kill Saizo or Boob One, because, like, this map is just not fun to deal with. Like, because you only have 25 turns. You only have 25 turns before Ryoma begin to the thult. So you could split up your army. And, like, compared to these maps where it's kind of viable, right? Like, I know some people are going to comment, oh, the Zeron video where he uses Hyper Ninja Solil to just completely sweep the Inevitable End ninjas. I'm going to be honest, like, with you, that's cool. I'm glad Zeron did that. It's an awesome video. Go subscribe to Zeron if you're into analytical conquest content. But, like, 99% of people will not have a Hyper Ninja Solil that beats the Inevitable End ninjas with the exact right skill set, right? You know, Zeron's content is good because it's showing you the absolute peak of Conquest, but, like, 99% of people will not play peak Conquest, so this map is just gonna fucking suck for them, because you could split up your army. Like, not even, like, I had a capped defense Benny on this with the Javelin, and not even he beat the Inevitable End ninjas. Alright, so this map fucking sucks unless you have, like, perfect skill Soleil, or, like, some other stuff, you know, perfect skill so-and-so. So, like, you're not even allowed to have fun and make your own skill sets. Well, like, I'm not too sure, because I've never really tried it, but, like, so what you do is you just have Korin kill Ryoma, and what I did in my latest run was just, you know, give them the dual club, Dragon Fang, Dragon Skin, I don't think it's Dragon Skin, whatever, Dragon Scale, the one that lowers all their stats by 4. I gave Korin some Speed Wings, so after the Dragon Scale, they could double Ryoma, and boop boop, that's it. And then in the run I did before that, I just had to replicate Korin, because I chose Ninja as a talent, Poison Strike, Dagger, boom boom boom, dead dead dead, and that was that. And that's pretty much it, right? Like, you're either just boringly fighting Ryoma to the death in a room where you can only deal 3 damage to him per turn, and you're gonna win, because if you have good skills on Korin, or, like, a good class, it's just not that hard. Like, you're missing out on some gold if you do that, but, like, at this point in the game, like, you probably have your budget planned out, because after this, there are only 3 chapters left. So, like, by this point in the game, you probably already have your budget planned out. So, like, if you need the 10,000 gold, you can go for it, but, like, I never really needed it. And, like, it's just not good. It's better than fucking 4 movement, though, right? This map is awesome, right? You really have to play carefully because of Iago's staff. But, like, this is pretty much the map that knowledge checks you on Conquest, right? But in a good way, right? It's not like, oh, have you played Conquest before? Do you have, like, 12 flyers you can use in this map? Have you played the game before and have the foresight to do that? No, no, no. This map skill checks you in, like, the good way, where it's like, okay, have you been paying attention? Because we have a lot of units with a lot of good skills. You can pick which route you go down, because there's a left hallway and a right hallway. There's some staff stuff, like there's some staff stuff on this map, there's some staff stuff on this map, there's some staff stuff on this map. You know, do you know how to deal properly with enemy skills? Do you know how to take full advantage of the weapon triangle? Because I think it's pretty important in this map. Do you know how to do an aggressive charge? Because if you break into the mage room, they're going to be aggressive on you. So you better know how to kill them all in one turn. It's just a knowledge check, but in a good way. Because it doesn't test your foresight. It tests your ability to deal with everything that has been dealt at you, that has been thrown at you so far, but in one map. Because Iago has his, like, 15 range stabs that you really don't want to get hit by, especially the Hexing Rod one. So you have to play around that, right? And then you have the room full of hands in the eyes. They have ultra powerful skills. Do you know how to deal with them? Can you beat, like, a warding blow general? Can you do that? It's like, it really forces you to strategize. Personally, what I do is I make a defensive line in the mage room out of Iago's range, and then go send a sacrificial unit like Kana to go open the door to trigger the offensive AI on those guys. I'd say it's really good. Like, some people don't like it because of Iago, but I think without Iago, the map would be boring. Because without the staves, you're kind of just turtling it. But to get out of Hexing Rod range while defeating certain enemies really tests your mettle. And there are multiple ways to challenge it, because again, there are multiple routes. Most people don't take the faceless route, but hey, you can if you want to. So I'd say it's maybe not as good as the Zola map, because I do like the Zola map quite a bit. I wouldn't say this map really puts pressure on you because you know, he can't really touch you if you're just hiding out in the mage room where I'm farming a defensive line, but there are a lot of strategies and a way to go about doing this. So I'd say it's around the Zola map. This chapter, it exists, you know, it's whatever. I'll put it above the Vala map. Oh, I said Vala, I'm dying! Oh! But, you know. It's like, what I do is just I undeploy everyone else besides Corrin, and like some sacrifices, some units that I've captured along the way, to wear out all the entrap staves, and then you can just kind of walk Corrin up once she's been entrapped, up to Garon, and then, you know, that's it, you know, just kill him with the Shadow Yato, and wham, bam, thank you map, Blender Futurama, 2003. And that's pretty much the long and short of it, right? But this map is just a map that you can beat in like 2 minutes if you know what to do. It's whatever. However, this map is made worse by the fact that it precedes this map. And what can you not do in this map? Save. And what can you not do in this map? Save your battle preps. You can't save, it doesn't keep your battle preps, and what does this map have? Enemies with cancerous skills, and what does this map have? Takumi dealing a bunch of damage to you every turn, and what does this map have? Infinite reinforcements that have a fucking suicide bomb, fucking Al-Qaeda enemies where if you kill them they explode. At least I think they do. I don't remember. That might not be a thing. I might be hallucinating that, but I think that's a thing. So, with all this in mind, what you want to do is you want to beat the map in 1 turn, and then or like 2 turns, just run up, Brave Sword Takumi in the head, with parry or fucking Corrin or something, I don't know, and kill him. And even that doesn't work sometimes because he can just proc Vengeance, so then if you get RNG'd wrong, you have to go replay the Garon map. This map would be pretty good, because it throws a lot of challenges at you, but this map has the unique feature of not being able to save before it, which makes it pretty much fucking the most cancerous map in the game. Because how do you expect me to deal with a bunch of high skilled enemies and Takumi like dealing 20 damage every turn to all your units if I can't even revise my strategies on the fly and save them and have to reapply fucking tonics every time. That's just cancer and possibly the worst decision in this game besides the forward movement Hidoka guys. It's just not fun. You just kind of rescue down a guy and kill Takumi. I'm not saying it's impossible to beat it on Lunatic, it's very possible. I would love to beat it on Lunatic legit, but I just do not have the willpower to, or the motive to, because it's just easier to use the rescue staff, and then I don't have to replay the Garon map too. Alright, so this is probably the fucking worst map ever, just because of the save thing. You just should be allowed to save, right? Like, even in fucking Binding Blade, where, like, you go fight item, that room is literally just a square, and you can save in it and just beat it in one turn, right? So if you can save in that map where you don't even need to prepare anything at all, you should be able to save in a map where actual strategy is important. If I ever rank FE7 maps, which I know I may, I will have the same criticism of the Fire Dragon map, by the way. I will be putting that in Betrayal tier in that tier list if I do that. Spoiler. Alright. And then the Kana map, it's probably like, whatever, there's a square, you can lower the dragon veins with the lake, but that doesn't really matter too much. Like, you just kind of go kill the guys, it's, you know, whatever. I just usually use this as a training map for my other units, because, like, it's a shared route map, so the enemies don't really have skills, so you can just kind of train your weaker units up to this point, so I pretty much just use this as an EXP grind map. This map, again, you get Shiger on it, you can just kind of one-turn it by just flying a guy up to the boss. You can kill the other guys if you want to, like the Kana map, I just kind of use it as an EXP training ground. So it's like, you know, whatever. What's this one? Hold on, what is this one? This is Dryer's map. There's a bit of an interesting thing you can do. There is a choice where, like, you can kill the boss immediately, or you can go talk to Dryer and fight all the enemies and get EXP. But, like, the game, it's not even, like, a dubious one turn, right? Like, the Fire Emblem developers did probably not have, like, you know, rescue switching in mind when fucking making this map, so that is, I just think that's an honest-to-God mistake on their part. In this map, it's very intentional, you can just kill the boss in one turn, and that makes it not very interesting. It's kind of zoomed out, though, so I can't see it very well. This map, I'd say, is pretty good, honestly. CS' daughter, you have incentive to save the villagers. Some of the enemies are pretty powerful. I would put it at least below the Faceless map. I'm just doing a lightning run with these paralog maps, since they don't really matter all too much. I'd say, you know, it's fun. You gotta save the villagers. You gotta get to Sophie before she, you know, suicides herself into, like, the promoted paladins. There are incentives to do well. You know, you gotta save the villagers. You can capture Nicole. He's a pretty good unit. Yeah, I'd say this map has enough things going on to make it interesting. This map, again, you can just kind of fly over and kill Candace in one turn. Get some dragon herbs. I just kind of use it as an EXP farm from other units, since it's, like, technically a birthright map, so the enemies aren't really all that powerful, so I just farm EXP on it. So, you know, it's whatever. I'm gonna pause for a moment, actually, because my parents have arrived home, so I predict my dogs will be barking quite intensely in the next few seconds, so I will see you in a sec. Alright, I'm back. Let's get back down to business. What is this one? Am I looking at the Keaton one? Wait, no, I think this is the fucking, no, this is the Xander one. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I played this map, like, once in freshman year of high school. I remember it sucking, but, like, I honestly don't remember. Okay, I'm gonna make a new tier for maps that I haven't played nor care about. Like, I've played this once, I remember it sucking, but I don't really remember. This one, I played it once, I remember it being kind of alright, so I'll put it above Xander's map. This one, hold on, I need to kind of squint because this is small. What's this one? I don't know. I know this one is the Valora one. This one is just very annoying with the reinforcements and the faceless and the magical turrets. The Dragon Vein gimmick is that fun. I love Valora. I love Valora a lot. I like getting her, but, like, I'd say it's definitely one of the more playable of the Betrayal maps. I'll put it below the Stair maps. It's, like, can get boring at times, but I don't have as less fun playing these than I do the other ones. This one is Percy's map. I played this once, but I distinctly remember this one sucking. I don't know if I'd put it above... no, put it below the Fox one again. I played this one exactly once. I remember it sucking ass. This one's good. This one's really good, actually. There are thieves coming from, like, both sides. There are powerful enemies, like Master Ninjas and Berserkers. You want to get all the treasure, because there's, like, a magic herb. There's, like, lightning tome. There's the horse spirit. There's the calamity gate. So there's so much to do. So much to see. I might actually put this above the Zola map, honestly. I'd say I'd put it around here. This one's actually really good. Soleil, played this map once in Revelation, don't remember anything about it. I remember it being like, alright. This one, you kind of go fast to get the treasure. Kind of ends anticlimactically, though. Because, kind of ends a bit anticlimactically, though, because once you kill Nina, everything else just retreats. So you just kind of wait a couple turns waiting for that to happen. I think I got them swapped up, wait. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I lost it, whatever. And this one, hold on, I need to squint. Oh, this is Ignatius's map. I've never actually beaten this one. I love Benny, my boy, but I don't really care one iota of a shit about his kid. Alright, where did I put the Nina one? Like, oh, here it is. Okay, so I'd say it's good. Yeah, it's pretty good, I'd say. Like, well, I'd put it below the Sophie map. It's alright. It's a bit exciting, but once you kill Nina and everyone starts retreating, you just kind of mash end turn a couple times in a row, and then that's it. So it kind of goes out on a whimper. It can actually be a bit... Oh, a funny strategy you can do in this, right, is that her AI changes a bit based on what kind of skills you give her. Like, if you give her a rally skill, she will actually spend turns rallying instead of escaping, so I think that's pretty funny. It adds an extra layer of strategy, right? So I think that's kind of cool. Like, it's not really too relevant, it's just kind of there. But, I think it's pretty fun. It's a funny thing you can do. And that is the Conquest map tier list. Alright, so, in review, let's see. We have an equal amount of Betrayal maps. Excellent tier, has one less entry than Betrayal, and then there's some good maps that are just pretty good. So overall, I'd say Conquest is like my third or second favorite Fire Emblem game. It's second or third, you know, these are such flexible and meaningless rankings that I can't really decide. I like Shadow Dragon and Conquest, and I like Thracia. Like, those are competing for my second through fourth spots. But, yeah, you know, I'd say even though there are a lot of Betrayal maps that really grind my gears, these maps are so much fun to play. These maps are fun to play, and even when I'm not playing these maps and they're not so much fun, I'm really getting skills on these ones. Like, I'd say the meh maps in Conquest are better than the meh maps in Binding Blade, because, you're working towards more, like maybe getting a support pairing up, so you can get a Heart Seal, or a Marriage Seal or something, or get a kit even, get a skill. So I'd say overall, the meh maps in Conquest, again, are better than the meh maps in Binding Blade, because there's just more to do in them. But the Betrayal maps are like a million fucking times worse than the ones in Binding Blade, because these maps have outrageous gimmicks. Like, I would take the fucking Laser Beam map, like 16x I think it is, over the Fox map, or the 4-move map anyway. Because the laser beams are annoying to deal with, but, like, they're not inevitable and ninjas, you know? Like, I'd say that's how it is. The best of Conquest is better than the best of Binding Blade, but the worst of Conquest is worse than the worst of Binding Blade because of the outrageous gimmicks they had to deal with. And I'm probably going to do Thracia next week, honestly. So I hope you look forward to that. I hope you enjoyed this analysis of Conquest maps. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.